livestock, they have no fish pond, or any other productive asset, including education or new skills. So we thought in this, if you want to overcome pro-poor policy, means it must be something technological empowerment of the poor. We can only give technical skills, make an unskilled people unskilled to skilled workers, because so long as you are unskilled, maximum you can earn is the wage of the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, about Ashok Jhunjhunwala, Narega. I will come to it in a moment, what you can all do to help Narega workers. So the first point is, if you want to make a poor person earn more, you have to give skills. You have to have the technological empowerment, and this is where today we can leapfrog in many areas, because government should certainly do land reform and so on. But as professionals, as scientists and technologists, what we can do is the technological empowerment of the poor and convert, particularly in the case of women, from unskilled to skilled work, so that there could be a reduction in the number of hours of work, and add value to each hour of work. The Reaching the Unreached or Voicing the Voiceless program has, let me conclude by the earlier one of lab to land and land to land. We had 4 lab to land and land to lab, and land to land and land to lab from farmer. We are using all the 4 techniques here in this center. The latest is thanks to the Indian Overseas Bank, the land to land program, farmer to farmer learning, which has a very high credibility in terms of economics particularly. Farmers don't really believe the economics of professors and so on. They like to test themselves, because we may not cover many costs which they have to cover, including risks like monsoon behavior and so on. The latest in the land to land, Dr. Ajay Pareda got some funds. One Kalaivani Rajendran in Tanjavur district. She is a very good farmer and is willing to share her knowledge with others. One is being a very good farmer, and the other is to share the knowledge. So the land to land program, what it involves really putting a hostel or a dormitory in the field of that farmer, so that other farmers can go and stay for some days, interact with the person and so on. So these were the technologies, directly interpersonal transfer of knowledge, personal knowledge. But today, as Dr. Ashok Jhunjhunwala has said, in a whole series of areas, whether it is medicine, whether it is agriculture, we can leapfrog. The work of this center, you will come to know. You are also, I hope some of you are visiting Puducherry or Pondicherry, where our own knowledge center started early with the help of the IDRC of Canada, which I want to acknowledge, because they are, and here I find Dr. Subbiya Arunachalam is sitting here. The other one was Dr. Balaji, who is now with the Commonwealth of Learning in Canada. When somebody was talking about power and so on, Balaji was one person who will not be cowed down. His philosophy was, if there is a problem, there is a solution. If electricity fails, we'll have solar. If the regular telephone fails, we'll put the mobile. So I want to mention for the young people particularly, do not be overwhelmed by problem. If there is a problem, there's a solution. You can find what is the feasible solution, what is the economically viable solution. We started the human resource development, capacity building and content creation are 2 very key elements in any technology. Technology is there. See, for example, in the case of green revolution technologies, we used to say it is scale neutral. Scale neutral means any farmers, 1 acre, 2 acres, half an acre, can benefit from the new technology. It's scale neutral, but was not resource neutral. You require money to buy the seed. You require money to buy the fertilizer and so on. You have to have the resource neutral. This is also true with the mobile telephony. I can communicate very good important information to the farmers. But if the farmer is to apply, if I say there's a new variety of hybrid rice or something which you want to grow, then he needs the money to buy the seeds and so on. This is where there is need for technology and public policy to come very close together. For example, the Green Revolution in the early days was criticized by saying the rich farmers will become richer and the poor will become poorer, because only the rich farmer will have access to irrigation, access to fertilizer, access to seeds and so on. So we got government start a program called Small and Marginal Farmers Program, by which the inputs which are needed were given to the farmers at low or no cost and so on. So you will have to work out, even in the case of mobile telephony, if you want to reach, if you want to realize all its potential, whether it is health, whether it is agriculture, it is also needed. One is knowledge alone, information. The other is how to apply the information in practice. So you'll have to work out also what kind of support system it will need, what kind of linkages it will need, one with credit institutions on the one hand, the other in the case of many other requirements like seed producers, fertilizer producers, and also in the case of health. This is where in our own network, alliance which was mentioned by Ajay Parida, the Gramin Gyan Abhiyan, or the National Alliance for the application of information technology, we always have meetings with the directors of various missions, the National Rural Health Mission, the National Horticulture Mission. There are a number of programs of the Government of India which you know. Now the latest we want to develop in the case of Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Program, by the law itself it provides jobs only for 100 days in a year. One member of the family, 100 days, earlier it was 100 rupees, now it somewhat varies from state to state, but 100 rupees into 100 days, 10,000 rupees for a family of 5. Many times people say, well, as a result of Nariga, consumption was grown, one of the reasons for inflation and so on. I can never see such an absurd, it's a cruel joke, 10,000 rupees or even 12,000 rupees per year in family of 5. What do you get? 2,000 rupees per head per year, not per year. How much more can they eat and so on? They can eat little better. Therefore, what is needed is, what about 100 days are all right, but then there are other 265 days in the year. What do you do with them? So we are developing a program called Beyond 100 Days program. The Beyond 100 Days program is really education, adult literacy on the one hand, health information, but more than that, new skills, so that you take them from the unskilled to the skilled, so they can earn more money, micro enterprises with a micro credit and so on. So every one of them, I am giving one example how Nariga, which is the world's largest social security program, there's no doubt at all. This year the budget will be 50,000 crore. It's the largest program in the world of social security. But it is just a living wage. It's a living wage to see people are not hungry at night and so on. If you want to really get them out of the poverty trap and get them out into somewhat better, they should also enjoy all the benefits of modern human life, then we'll have to give a Beyond 100 Days program in which we intensively provide them with new skills, and this is where the modern ICT, including mobile telephony, will make a very important progress. We have the Fellows of the National Virtual Academy, the Jamshedji Tata Academy. I must also acknowledge some of the early supporters of this whole enterprise was the Tata Trust, and they allowed us to keep the name of Jamshedji Tata for the National Virtual Academy, which is to breed a whole set of workers in rural India who are well versed with modern digital technology. Let me see, when I say it's a transformation technology, I couldn't really believe it. You know, we identified some of our fellows to go to the World Information Summit, first in Geneva, then it was in Tunis. And both cases, they have never gone out to their village. They have never stepped into a plane. They were directly put into the plane and got to Geneva or to Tunis and so on. And those ladies, I asked them, they were manning our small demonstration. And I said, are you not homesick? She said, no, I just send an email to my husband every hour and he replies. See how the whole life has changed. Send an email to them. So this is where the life of the village completely changes. There's a technology which can transform people. But we must use it effectively. And in our country, in India, I'm not sure I'm talking about Germany, because crores of people are involved in terms of literacy, adult literacy campaign, in terms of health information, and in terms of new skills, productive skills, by which they can earn some additional money, because this alone is not enough for a family. We'll have to have some supplementary income, and so it can be done. So technology is a primer of change. The change which we require is what we have to be clear about. What is the kind of change which we need in our country? In my view, the change we require is reducing or eliminating so much of disparities, economic disparities, because the word social inclusion, financial inclusion is all used. But if you look at the financial inclusion and so on, most of the money, the finance minister will say 4 lakh crores of rural credit has gone.